Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As we speak now, at this moment, Sri Lanka in uh, in the Indian Ocean, just in case you guys don't know, has successfully overthrown its so-called de facto government. This will echo through the rest of the world as you realize that the Americas, Europe, and so many of these countries, including Africa, are nothing more than run by criminals, organized crime. The profound level of lies and the profound level of brutality, murder, as well as child trafficking, what they call governmental child trafficking, is rampant all over the world. It is almost certain this will echo through the US as well as Canada, as well as even in this country. You see, at this moment in our time and history, the backdrop is that there is so much evidence that these de facto governments are so rampantly vulgar in every single manner. The level of vulgarity is beyond belief, and they think that they can successfully get away with it. Well, if a group of people in Sri Lanka can successfully overthrow that de facto government, and they are not governments, they're just simply corporations like McDonald's dominating the entire country. They, of course, don't know the privileged information that you guys have, or you folks have, in regards to how this is done. But they realize that you cannot tolerate tyrants. You have no choice on a global scale to hold these politicians, not necessarily the politicians, but it is the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary that you must hold accountable. And some of the crimes, they would be certainly considered crimes that carry a death penalty. Full stop. This broadcast is essentially about the council tax fraud. And I only deal with first-hand knowledge. I am not dealing with second-hand knowledge, and I, of course, don't teach theory. I'm going to show you just one facet in a trillion-faceted corruption, system of corruption, how these freaks work. So I will go to the document itself straight away. This is a simple letter from a local council, and this is happening globally. Okay, whenever you open a letter, you look at the window and you ask yourself, why did the letter come through a window rather than writing it on an envelope? It's because they want you to peer through it. That you are essentially peering through a window. That's exactly what it means. When you look at the name, that's a Mr. That's a subordinate aboard a vessel. This has its written, they've of course done their best to try to put the full colons and the hyphens in, is written in all capitals. In other words, it has no standing whatsoever. It is totally non-de-geared, what they call decapitated. So once you see this, the first thing that you need to do is look at the bottom of the page. Always read documents from the bottom to top. Yours sincerely, London Borough of Newham. It's got no authorizing even signature, let alone an autograph. It is an authorless document. An authorless document. So we can go up here a little bit and try to find out what is it that they're trying to say here. because Newham Council does not write to me in this name. They know who I am. This is a letter that's being sent out in their millions, in the millions, all over Britain, United Kingdom. And of course, those people that don't know what England means, that forsake their country or forsake their nation or land. So what it's trying to do is saying, oh, we have identified you as a man or a person or whatever to get a rebate, free money, as it were, on your energy cost. We've assessed you on this. They don't have that type of information. Yeah, that's data protection. And then you read this letter and it wants to give me £150. £150. So all I have to do on this letter is ring up what's inside of this box, and whatever is inside the box is a totally different document, and the rules in that box are different from the rest of the document, called a four-corner rule. And then it's got another box, and that has a different rule, like somebody playing a tennis match and you kick the ball out of those lines, different rules apply. Okay? A four-corner rule has many different rules. So they want me to apply and get £150. Wow, how bloody generous. So you folks out there in England, property tax, whatever, just shut up and listen. Shut up and listen. I know everybody, one of you is like the experts in everything. So shut up and listen. And make sure those people that are trying to thwart this presentation are targeted, and that you get rid of them yourself. Target them. Find out who these parasites are that would interfere with the information that I'm giving you. There's a lot of people out there that work on council tax and everything, but all they do is go yakety, 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 yak. But they don't say anything and they don't show anything. They just go yakety, yakety, yak. So shut up and listen. If I apply for it, I get £150. How generous towards some sort of a gas bill or electricity bill. However, how devious are these people? How devious are they really, these people? Because once I have applied for this and taken possession of £150, what they have done, look at this, households who are liable for council tax in their bands A and D, or those in band E with a disabled band reduction, meaning that band D is payable, where a Newham resident on the 1st of April 22 will receive a one-off payment towards increased fuel costs. Please note that only one payment will be made per household. Look what they've said here. And were a Newham resident on the 1st of April 2022. I have been here probably 25 or more years. In other words, if I apply for this 150, let me see if I can blow this up. This £150, I essentially agree to being a resident that only starts from the 1st of April 2022, which is a tax year. In other words, they're going to turn me into a resident. Resident means you pay rent and rates and council tax. An occupant, as to opposed to an occupier doesn't. These words have a totally different meaning in the legislative world of stupidity, necromancy, as well as the most vile types of games that these people play. What they are asking us to do is to successfully put them in prison, just as the Sri Lankan people are doing with their de facto politicians. Every single one corrupt to their bloody core. And the judges enforce the criminality because they work for not the governments but for privateers. All judges are actors. So essentially what they're going to do, if I apply for it, they're going to say that I've only been in this house, in this flat, in this East London flat for only a few months, making me, in terms of legality, a man of no standing, because I've only moved in, if I agree to it. I only moved in since April 1st. Where I knew I'm resident on the 1st April 2022. That's where the trick is. Right here. And let me see if I can highlight it and blow it up for you. So, you know, you people out there, the common law idiots out there that don't know what the hell they're talking about, I give you my permission to share this with your groups so I can educate you without you crediting me. I'm okay with that. As well as the people that pay in the US, Canada, that pay what they call property tax. These are the vile, disgusting games that they play. I've been monitoring in the last couple of days what this transgender stuff is getting up to. The politicians are doing a fantastic job in the US and Canada and the rest of Europe because they have been ordered, they've been commanded to play the fool on stage. Biden does a magnificent job because every single politician is an actor. And the new boys in town, as it were, are essentially running the game. But the de facto positions, like the Olympians, they want to take a hold, and hence they get men to dress up as women and go and do cage fighting, go and have swimming competition with women and saying, oh, look at me. Oh, look at me. I have won the gold medal. Olympians run Olympia. The Olympic Games are run by Olympians, the names of which you can see on my website. They're almost begging you to go and knock at their door and hold them accountable. Most of the stuff that they've done, like governmental child trafficking, all carry a death sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the pinnacle where the people have to now do anything. If you're going to wait for your next door neighbor or somebody else, some other clan to do anything, ain't going to happen. What you do is what you do. You remember the secret of what I revealed of the Matrix is? Do you remember what the secret is? All it takes is just any one of yous, to shut the entire system down. That's what the Matrix movie is about. That's what Neo is about. It's not that they are specially gifted or anything, because that's the world of fiction. Getting you to believe you have to be anointed and have superhuman powers. Superhuman, you know what it means. It means many color of man or a corporation of a superficial nature. That's what the Supreme Court is. It's a superficial organization talking out of its backside. All it takes, and that's the secret of the movie, is that it takes any one of yous to bring this whole shit to an end. Sorry about the SHIT word. But I tend to get a little bit riled up because these are highly what they call emotive situations. The correct word is feelings. The feelings inside of you should now be so strong that you've got no choice but to go to the Supreme Court and say, shut your goddamn mouth with every single one of these judges and sheriffs and deputies that do not obey the very fundamentals of what is man and woman. That is what they're trying to corrupt. They're trying to corrupt what a woman is. Woman just simply means it's a female that is of a consenting age. Because it's a consent law, without it, it's rape. And that's what they're trying to compromise. And then they will go for the male. And then they will say, well, there is no such thing as men and women. And then you don't even have ecclesiastics to grasp onto. Freaks in our world have no outcome but to be put on trial. I use the word trial, but it's actually court proceedings, because to trial something is only to test something. We're not testing. We have their documents and we have the evidence. So, what I'm saying to you, all over England, all over the world, when you receive these documents, understand this is not a gift. For £150 or $1 or a rupee, you're about to renew the entire position of you in your own home by saying that you've only been there since 1st of April 2022. This is how the world of parasites work. And because I'm a Chief Federal Postal Court judge, and this has come through my letterbox, there are consequences to them. The likes of which you will see in a few weeks. That is that, ladies and gentlemen. I have postponed some of my presentations that I was going to do till next week if I have time. Okay, I'm slightly time restricted these days because the workload is quite heavy. So, be patient with me, share this knowledge, share it with everybody. You can download this document. You can download it and share it with other people. And look, I've highlighted it for you where the corruption is. It's right here. Resident in their legalities means one who pays. Occupier is one that doesn't. An occupant is different from an occupier. They use, just like these transgender movement people, 1,001 words as a form of masturbation. That's all these legislators are. They are masturbators. I suggest you treat them as such. On that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all the best and a wonderful weekend. I salute all the people in the world. I salute the Sri Lankan people, the Canadian people, the American people, essentially everybody on the planet that knows the difference between what a human is and what a man or a woman is. If you can't, you are nothing more than a lost soul. The whole cross-gender period thing that you are witnessing is about so you don't have any standing. And you can see they are empty vessels. Meaningless, masturbative academics going to... Let's not end that in a negative. I can bring that to a stop. I can even release the information as to how to hold these doctors and the medical board to account. But you folks have to come to me in your thousands. You have to share this knowledge. Okay? I can bring all that to a stop, but all the work cannot be put onto me. You need to do what you need to do for yourself. I think I've got my message across. Once again, thank you.